As we've been telling you, tributes have been pouring in for Franklin from presidents, current and past, from musicians and singers from around the world. But perhaps the most poignant tribute to the Queen of Soul is actually taking place outside what was dubbed as her second home. That's the Apollo Theater in Harlem, and that's where we'll find Steven D'Souza.
Many cities lay claim to Aretha Franklin: Memphis, Detroit, and here in Harlem it's no different. In front of the legendary Apollo Theater on 125th Street in Harlem, people have been streaming past throughout the day, tourists and locals alike, to share their memories and their thoughts of the Queen of Soul. Locals tell me how people used to line up around the corner to see her shows. In the 70s especially, they were major draws. They put simply on the marquee that she's home. This is where the Queen of Soul really made her name. I had a chance to speak with some people who've been visiting the ever-growing memorial here. Here's what they had to say.
Oh man, I'm one of her biggest fans, out of millions of fans here. Aretha had a very unique voice. She appeared here at the Apollo Theater at least a dozen times. And every time she came, there were lines wrapped around. Everybody appreciated her and loved her and still love her. Very sad occasion.
Miss Aretha Franklin was a queen. She's the Queen of Soul, and she's Harlem. She's part of us.
She was my inspiration as a youngster going to school. A lot of the songs were empowering, both for male and females, you know? So when I listen to Even You Make Me Feel Like a Natural Woman, it resonated with me. I wasn't a woman, but there's strength in it. And then her vocal range was just, it's unbelievable. Her vocal range was unbelievable.
One of the people I had a chance to speak with was the daughter of Bernard Purdie. He was a legendary band leader and drummer who was Aretha Franklin's band leader for a period in the 70s, and she got to sit in on studio recording sessions and saw a side of Aretha Franklin that few here got to experience.
Just her love of life and letting life take care of itself, and the love of the beat. She needed a good drummer to drive her vocally. When she had the tight rhythm section, bass, guitar, drums, she soared to the sky. There was no end. And I was a witness for a lot of that in production.
Aretha Franklin was 19 when she debuted on this stage in 1962. And at the time, the theater manager thought she was a great gospel singer, but wasn't sure if she was a box office draw. That changed, though, by the mid-70s when he knew, and there was no shadow of a doubt, that she was in fact one of the greatest ever to grace the stage of the Apollo Theater. Steven D'Souza, CBC News, New York.